was a privilege, I'm a little hoarse, forgive me. It was a privilege to share the ring with such an incredible athlete, such an amazing person. Peter Quillin I've known for a very long time. And it sucks when you have someone that, you know everything about him, you know what he's fighting for, and you've known him for so long, and have to share the ring with him. I knew going into the fight that, I had to block everything out, all our personal relationship, whatever it was, I had to block all that out and just focus on the fight. I knew he was going to be strong, I knew he was going to be relentless, and I was just fortunate enough to get the stoppage because he was hurt and I bombarded him. It was for however long it lasted, man, I knew that it was going to be dangerous, and he's a strong, talented guy, and if he wants to rematch, and if that's something that the fans would want as well, then we can definitely do it. I would definitely give this man another opportunity to do it again.
When we spoke earlier on this week, you said you visualized this outcome. Did you visualize the first round knockout?
I didn't visualize the knockout. I just visualized me having my hand raised the victory. Boxing is mostly mental, and I was at a point where, meditating was something big on, something big that I was doing, and visualizing this victory was something that we've done in camp. So mentally, before even stepping in the ring, I knew that I was ready. Physically, we were strong. Physically, we were ready. But ultimately, I feel like the fight was already won outside of the ring.
Yeah, back in the corner.
Peter, I did have one other question for you. I know you said you appreciated the fact the way the referee was doing his job, but do you feel that you could have came back at that point when they did stop it?
I'm a fighter, so automatically I'm going to say yes. But like I said, that's me talking like a fighter and not talking like an official doing my job. So, like I said, the things that happened was meant to happen.
Hey, Danny, congrats again on a great performance.
Thank you.
Do you think this was a star-making performance for you? And how far do you think you can go in this sport?
Well, Peter Quillin is one of the best middleweights in the world. For me to have an upset like this, because it was an upset. Fans had it, him going in as a favorite, him going in as probably knock me out or maybe get the victory. So I don't know if this made me a superstar. I mean, I just want to be able to get inside the ring and do what I do best, have fun, and come out unscathed and in perfect tap.
Guys, if there aren't any more questions for Peter, I'm going to let Peter go and be with his family and get some rest. And I don't think you could handle a night like he just had with any more grace than he just showed. So another round of applause.
Stand up big, man. Yeah, I'll be back though, man. No problem. See you again.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a stand-up stuff.
Bittersweet, man. Bittersweet.
He doesn't know if he's a superstar, but I'm going to tell you, he's a superstar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I know you're looking to bring more and more awareness to cancer, and obviously your star will shine brighter in this fight. How important is it to you that this helps you bring more awareness?
It means everything. Like I said, I've always idolized Sugar Ray Leonard. I've always idolized Muhammad Ali because of what they stood for outside of the ring. So to know that I have something that people can relate to, and something that's devastating as cancer, to be able to overcome that, and be kind of a spokesperson for it, to be able to give people hope, they're inspired, and things of that nature. I mean, the platform, I'm looking forward to taking advantage of that, because a lot of people have better stories than I have, or gone through worse situations than I have, but they don't really have that platform to kind of bring awareness to it. So I'm gonna do my best to, take advantage of it.
Danny, straight back here. Straight back. Over here.
Is that Dave? Oh,
how you doing,
I'm at ESPN.
Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
Middleweight's a hot weight class. This was obviously a much anticipated fight in the weight class. We had Canelo and Cotto a few weeks ago, Triple G a couple weeks before that.
Right.
Lou was talking about the fight he has with his other fighter, Andy Lee, in a title defense against Saunders. I guess the question is, what do you want to do next, assuming that there's not going to be an immediate rematch between you and Peter?
I mean, I think the obvious answer would be to say, yeah, leave it up to my manager and, you know, see what works. But I mean, I want to fight the best. You know, I want to be able. My whole thing was before, obviously coming back, I wanted to get the 12 rounds and to prove to myself that I can go a full 12 rounds with the elite. And I've done that. I've gone 12 rounds, so now I know I got it in the bank. I'm willing to face any and everybody out there. If it's the winner of Andy Lee Sanders, then that's something that I'll do. Or if it's something, if it's what's Eubanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Eubanks Jr.
You're mandatory.
Mandatory, if there's something that I have to do as far as, you know, fighting the mandatory, that's what I'll do. But, you know, I feel like I'm on fire now, man. You know, I'm ready to take on the best, and I'm in my prime, so.
Danny, Chris Conn here, 7 Station Radio Boston. We've talked to you for a long time. I've known what you've gone through with Pierre Rock with cancer. How sweet is this getting that win against a crosstown rival and actually showing everybody that you can beat a top 5, top 10 fighter?
It's a bittersweet, but I mean, you know, I'm just grateful that I'm able to, you know, prove the doubters wrong, because there was a lot of negativity going into this fight. You know, some that I just had to block out, like I just erased my Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, because it was so many people bash talking me saying that I wasn't of the elite, I wasn't, you know, that caliber of fighter, and I know deep down inside I was. I mean, I fought Sean Porter in the amateur 6 times, and we went to war every time. So I knew that I knew the skill is there. But boxing is always about proving yourself, and I think with tonight's victory, that's what we did.
Daniel, your last 2 fights, they ended, you know, really early. Your knockout percentage is phenomenal. It's on par with any other, you know, professional really in the sport next to Wilder. Do you think this puts you on a level where people look at you as not just a great fighter of great speed, but actually as a really knockout artist? Or is there anything else that you would need to do to be on that level, like a Golovkin, like as a knockout artist?
Just continue to do what I've been doing. I mean, that's really not my worries as far as where I'm placed. I mean, ultimately, yeah, but right now, I think all I need to worry about is just making sure that I fix the flaws that I have in my game and just worry about perfecting what I have and be the best that I can be, because with that being done, then, you know, they can't deny it. What are your flaws? I mean, every fighter has flaws. I'm not gonna sit here and go through the list, you know what I mean? You guys are gonna record it, but I mean, every fighter has flaws, but and it was one thing that Peter alluded to before the fight was even made. He was like, you know, I don't really have anything to prove. You know, there's nothing to gain with this fight. And my mentality was, every fighter has something to prove, whether it's to themselves or to the sport in general. You're always going to have something to prove, and I feel like that's what I'm doing. And as a student of the game, I understand that, and that's why we're getting better and better. And, you know, me coming into my man strip now, you're seeing the strength and the power. And I think everything is going to play out phenomenal if I continue to do what I'm doing.
What's up, Danny? Andy Emilio, ES News, right over here.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man? First and foremost, congratulations on the win. But if you could put on your commentator's hat for a second, I know you're very good at looking at things objectively.
Yeah.
How would you, basically, what's your take on the stoppage?
I mean, he was on shaky legs, so to me it's kind of a coin toss. You could have let him go, you could have let it, you could have stopped it, but if I was Peter Quillin, I probably would have took a knee. You know, just maybe lose that round and have another round to go and finish the fight. But it's not my call. I didn't even see the fight. I don't even really remember the fight, so I would have to go back in order to make a, you know, an assessment on that. But, you know, the referee is in there to do his job. We have a job to do, the referee have a job to do, and that's just that, man. This is a sport where health is first, right? And you have guys and officials and doctors to make sure that guys are not taking too much punishment, because obviously we know with the Richard Quillin situation, you know, it was a very unfortunate situation. We don't want to make these things happen again, because this is a deadly sport.
Danny, Peter actually said exactly the same thing that you just did.
Right.
And he applauded Harvey Dock for stopping the fight.
See, he's a gentleman. See, Peter's this is a bittersweet moment for me right now, because yeah, I'm happy that I got the victory. Yeah, I'm happy that things are looking bright for the future. But, you know, for a guy like that who I've known for a very long time, and, you know, to know his son and he's fighting for just so much, and coming from something to nothing. Like I can identify with that. So, you know, it's a bittersweet moment, but you know, I pray that he's okay.
Danny, directly on your left, right over here.
Thanks, sir.
Can you tell me, the other day at the press conference, you said you would be very respectful of his power and very cautious. But was it just something instinctual in that moment that when you heard him that caused you to go wild like that? Or did you intend to, or did you intend to put that kind of pressure on early?
Well, see, we have a thing, and I say we, my team, Andre was there, and Anthony Irons, and the rest of my team, Jacobs. We have techniques in the gym where we work on what's called rumble. So it's like when we have guys hurt, we know exactly what punches to put together, how to bombard a guy, how to corral a guy, and eventually get the stoppage. So that was just a part of what we do naturally.
Danny, how you doing? Nestor with BOXINGBoys.com. Obviously, there's always been talk of Gennady Golovkin, how he's the biggest and baddest in the 160-pound division. But today you've done something that he has yet to do. You stopped the #2 middleweight in your division. He hasn't fought a #2, not even in the top 5 yet. Does this make you the best middleweight in the division?
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, I still have a lot to prove. You know, I'm a new champion. I'm the new kid on the block. So, you know, with the Miguel Cottos or the Canelos and everybody who already kind of solidified their spot as a top champion, you know, I just have a lot to prove. You know, like I said, it's not really my job to see where I fit inside of the middleweight division. It's just my job to get in there and fight and win. And where they place me, you know, it's all good. Because as long as I'm winning, you know, to me, that's what's most important.
You know, again, a lot of times when a fighter hurts an opponent, they're weary of, you know, jumping on the foe for, you know, fear of punching yourself out, kind of like Mike Jones against Soto Karass a few years ago.
Right.
But, you know, you seized the moment and really showed an incredible killer instinct. I know when you're in there, like, you're not really thinking a lot, but had you really always planned to jump on it? And did you ever think about punching yourself out? Or?
I didn't think about punching myself out because I knew from his eyes that he was really hurt. And if it would have been different, I probably would have paced myself a little bit more because as we've seen with the Sergio Mora fight, I went in carelessly and, you know, I got clipped. Right? Don't laugh about that. So, knowing that we were in there with a power puncher, we was already cautious of his best asset, which was just that. And I knew if I had an opportunity to get him hurt, that we was going to do it differently this time. I mean, I don't know if it was a lot different, but I knew he was really hurt. So if I knew that, I put my punches together right. And then I think I don't know, I might have got headbutted or I got hit somewhere in the middle of the exchange. So in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, you might have to pace yourself if he's able to regroup and get himself together. But he wasn't.
So you're saying that right when you went into the corner, the first time he was buckled, that you knew that he was done?
Well, I can't really remember everything hand for hand, but I just remember seeing his eyes and seeing his legs and just not stop punching. So.
And what is that adrenaline rush like? You know?
Man, I don't know, it all happened so fast. I mean, I can't really put it into perspective. I'm still kind of like on cloud 9, but you know, I'll go back and I'll watch the tape and hopefully I can relive those moments again.
Danny, this is Art from Sirius XM. What's going on? First, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you, brother.
Excellent performance. You definitely showed it. Definitely one of the best middleweights in the world for sure. But I want to know, what do you want for Christmas?
I got it right here, my brother, my little boy. And his birthday was just the other day, so we're going to celebrate tomorrow. I'm going to take him to the trampoline place. We're going to go to the Brooklyn Nets game and probably go to Disneyland, maybe for Christmas. So that's all. I got everything I need right here, boss. Yeah.
Daniel, really two quick questions. You talked, when this fight was made, you talked that you started camp earlier, so this has been a long camp for you. So what, if anything, did that do as far as an advantage? And then the second question is, and again, this was this fight ended really quickly.
Well, let me answer the first question first, not to cut you off. But yeah, we did start camp early, this training camp. We had a 10-week camp. And I want to give credit to my man Scooter over here. Yeah, because he's made sure that I was in the best shape possible. And we wanted to have a pre-camp to be ready for camp. Because I remember Joe Calzaghe was saying that he never sparred until he was in shape to really compete in sparring matches. So, you know, that idea for me made sense. And I wanted to be strong and ready for camp and had a nice long 7-week camp up there. And, you know, everything was well.
So today was a minute right into the fight. The Mora fight in August was 2 rounds. How much turnaround time do you need to get back in there? Do you want to do that?
I want to get right back in there, man. Sergio Moore put a tweet out today too.
No.
Yeah, he did.
No.
But I mean, it's this is a fight or a sport where if the fans are really intrigued by it, then your stock or your stardom really doesn't grow. So I'm not sure if the fans wants to see a Sergio Moore rematch more so than the winner of Sanders and Lee or Triple G or somebody like that. So we'll go back to obviously the man Al Heyman, see what he wants to do. He gives the best advice, and we'll take it from there. But I think I'll probably be back maybe first quarter of next year. That might not be too long.
Sounds like you can make the March 17th St. Patrick's Day with Andy Lee if he's able to win. Is that something that you would like to do? He normally fights in
Look at Lou.
Lou's excited about that.
That'll be cool.
I'm not the boss here, man. The 2 belts are sitting in front of this guy right over here.
I think that'll be cool. It'll definitely be something that I'll be looking forward to. Andy Lee is a tremendous champion, very strong, an exciting fighter. To obviously put it here in New York City, it would be another New York City type of feel that the fans would appreciate. There's a lot of Irish fans here, and there's a lot of supporters for myself. So I think it would be another sellout.
We're gonna do 3 more questions, and then we're gonna let this man leave with his son and go home and celebrate and get some sleep. And he's gotta wake up tomorrow and watch the fight.
I'm going to Shake Shack, man.
Danny, I'm not sure if any clean shots were landed, but if you could give us a power ranking on, all your opponents and where Peter Quillin ranks as far as power.
No, you know what? It was a shot that he missed that I just felt the wind and I felt the power. I was like, man, you know what I mean? I was just trying to avoid those shots because I knew that I knew he was a strong guy just by the way he threw his punches. So I knew it probably was going to be a long night if I wasn't careful. So I wanted to make sure my defense was tight. But I think I do remember kind of pulling his defense down to catch him with a nice right hand, and that's what started everything. But he's a strong champion. We know he has the heart and the will, to continue to fight if he could. But, hopefully we can do it again.
Danny, you got the stats right here. Drop the knowledge on them.
The stats? Okay. Final shots. Punches thrown, 53 by myself, 16 by Quillin. Total punches connected, 27 by myself, 2 by Quillin. So yeah, he only landed 2 shots on me. I don't know if that one shot gave me this knot right here. Peter Quillin is a strong guy, but and even before the fight, we knew that his punch count wasn't really high. He wasn't that guy that throw a lot of punches. So I knew that if he was going to throw a lot of hard shots, it wasn't going to be that many. So the goal was to win the first 3 rounds and just try to have him play catch up, and then that would have fit right into my game plan, which is box, move, and take him into deep waters, like your hat says in the back.
Danny, congratulations. Over here, brother. Over here to the left.
Okay.
What's up, Danny? Congratulations on the victory. Coming into the fight, were you aware that Peter was susceptible to the right hand? And when you heard him, were you surprised that you got to him that quick?
I was surprised that he was hurt that quick, because when I entered the ring, we were staring at each other, and he had the lion in him. You know what I mean? You could just see that animal status, and I was just like, man, this guy means business. You know what I mean? I might have to, box a little bit the first couple rounds. But like I said, I'm 100% into my ability and what I'm capable of doing. And when I heard him, I knew I was going to get him out of there. I just really did. I was just a little worried about punching myself out. But I knew the fact that he was hurt, it was either going to be a matter of time, whether it was the second round or the third round. But I knew I was going to get him out of there.
Thank you.
Last question to your right over here.
Danny, this is Steve K from BOXINGEGO.com. This question is for you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, sir.
If the fight had gone longer, what was your game plan coming into this fight?
Well, my game plan, like I alluded to earlier, my game plan was to obviously win the first half of the fight in points and then have him play catch up. Because if we know Peter Quillin, we know he's not technically sound. He lunges in with his punches, and he actually goes for the knockout each and every time he fights. So I knew that if he was gonna have to play catch up, he would be desperate and lunging in, and you know, me being a sharpshooter, that would have just fit right into my game plan. So.
All right, man.
Yeah. All good? Thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.